Welcome to the video breakdown of how to best use our Axiom Fitness Academy NASM 7th edition study guide. And I'm excited, the fact that you're watching this video, already know where you're at. I already know the process that you're going through, whether you're just starting, you just signed up for NASM, maybe you're investigating the process, or maybe you're getting close to your exam. Whatever it is, we've worked with literally hundreds and thousands of students to go through the process of getting NASM certified. And the whole purpose of this study guide is really just to share some of our best practices and try to give you guys a more detailed resource than you can find anywhere out there, even paid resources, right? Paid study guides, flashcards, whatever. We just want to give it all away because I inherently know, after working in the industry for 16 years and helping so many people get certified and started, there are so many great people like you who find themselves in this process right now. And maybe you've got what it takes to help people, you're passionate, you're caring, you've got great knowledge, and there's just this hurdle, this challenging hurdle of getting certified, learning the terminology. It's a lot of information, and that's a good thing, right? We want you guys to take the higher road, and you already did by signing up for the NASM exam. You could have done cheaper, less extensive, less challenging certifications that are out there, but this is the gold standard for a reason. So I want to go through, and first off, I just want to make sure you know what's inside of this resource, because there is a ton of stuff. I know because I put it together, right? Not only a ton of resources to help guide your studying and keep you focused on the most important concepts that NASM wants you to know, but also a lot of additional bonus resources, bonus links and videos, even hundreds of flashcards that you have access to. So I want to make sure you know what there are, and I want to make sure you know how you can use this to help better guide your studying. So if you've already been going through this resource, you know, a little welcome from myself, right? I'm not going to spend time going through that, but just a little context into what this resource was created for, why it was created. We just straight up love seeing people succeed, and we're fortunate that we get to work with hundreds of personal trainers here in person in South Florida every year, and also now hundreds in our virtual classroom. But we just love to see people getting into the industry because we know there are so many people out there that need your help. So if this is just even an ounce, a little piece of your process of getting into it and getting going and having perspective, then I'm so excited. And if there's anything we can do for you, don't hesitate to reach out. So as you guys get started in here, obviously there's a little insight into what's inside the material. You already clicked on this video right here, or you wouldn't be watching and listening to me talk. And we're gonna go through some of these things. But also as you scroll down, just try to give you guys some insight. So many people fail in this process. And first off, truthfully, so many people fail. Right? You might find statistics that only 65% of people pass the NASM exam on their first try, but that statistic doesn't include the people who never take their exam, because there is an astounding and astonishing, a crazy number, you'll never find it anywhere, but a crazy number of people who sign up for a program like this, they get overwhelmed, they never take the exam. So those stats don't even include those people. We don't want that to be you. Because chances are, if you're watching this video, you've downloaded this resource, you probably are a little overwhelmed and you're looking for help, all right? So just know that your plan has a big impact on where you go and how you make your way through this material, which is kind of funny. After working with clients for so many years, you know, hundreds and hundreds of clients, and realizing that there's so much that we do with clients in regards to helping them set up better behaviors and accountability and system and structure and weekly schedules and, you know, meal prepping. All those same skills apply in so many other areas of life. So the funny part is, right? The funny part is all the same things that you need to do in order to stay on top of your study process, the NASM materials, not just learning it, rote memorization, but being able to apply it and start to use it in the gym. It's literally these same skills, right? The cool thing is I imagine if you're watching this video, you've probably already had fitness transformation yourself, right? Fitness has become part of your life and your lifestyle, or maybe you're in the midst of that. So if you can just access that part of your brain, right? And know that, hey, chances are you haven't been studying for a while, you might not have been in class. Most of our students haven't been for years. And so you just got to go back to like, okay, it's these same little daily habits. It's setting up the right plan for success for myself from the beginning, a realistic plan that's flexible, right? Just like eating, that's going to help me stay on top of this and continue to move forward. So we give you guys some example weekly schedules. This is a similar schedule to what a lot of our students do who might be on one of our virtual courses or here with us in person. I'm just trying to break down like some of the simple tactics that you need to do on a day-to-day basis. Now, a lot of this will also relate to the amount of time that you have to contribute. And I think that's important because that's gonna really help you set your timeline. So as we look at it, right, just like we're setting a weight loss goal, we've gotta look at, hey, here's this big overarching goal we're trying to accomplish. We need to say, how much time do I have available to devote to this? How many hours a week can I exercise? And then how much of my nutrition can I change right now? And that's gonna give me my progress, right? It's gonna show, okay, well that means that I'm only gonna lose this many pounds a week or this many pounds a month if I want it to be sustainable. And that's gonna help me set my end goal. Oftentimes people do the opposite. They try to set the end goal and then work backwards, and it might not be realistic. So I think the best way is to look and say, with where you're at right now, do you have, like you can see here on the screen, right? Do you have 12 hours a week? Do you have 8 hours a week? Do you have 5 hours a week? What do you have to really, really dial in and be focused? And that's gonna probably help set your timeline. Because what we found is that, and NASM programs are built around this, that somewhere between 60 to 80 hours, and these numbers are based more upon 80 hours of true focused content, studying, practice exams, time devoted to this is probably what it's gonna take by the time you're done. And oftentimes people are trying to shortcut the process. How can I get it done in 2 or 3 weeks? Let's be honest, you're not gonna remember anything. And so we don't even want that. We want you to really be able to dissect and utilize this information. And the best way to do it, set yourself up with a realistic timeline. So take your time, do a little planning around this. And then from the hours every week that you have to devote to a process like this, then you can start to break up like what my strategies are. Maybe on Monday or Tuesday, I'm gonna spend a couple hours reviewing the actual book. Maybe you're a book-driven person. And there's lots of other great resources, but going through, taking some notes, trying to pay attention to the most important concepts, and then going on the next day, maybe it's Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe I'm gonna review some videos, and I'll show you guys inside of here some videos relative to certain concepts, and helping hey, you read it, then you get to see it and hear it, so you're learning in different ways. And then midway or later in the week, actually going through and doing quizzes. No doubt, if you're gonna pass the NASM exam, the best use of their resources online is the chapter quizzes, the section quizzes, the practice exams. And the best thing you can do is get into a rhythm of doing those weekly from the beginning, because it's gonna help you to retain the information, and it's also gonna help you in that given week figure out, what did I not really learn, and what do I need to go back and do before I move on. And then here's a key, right? This is a key variable before we move on in our little intro video. We do this with our courses, which is application time. There is no doubt, right? I personally have become a master of anatomy, physiology, biomechanics, movement, assessments, all this stuff, NASM and otherwise, because I've been teaching it for so long. And so if you want to really retain this information, the best thing you can do, and it's challenging because you may be the only person in your world who's studying for this exam right now, but find somebody to teach this stuff to, or to go into the gym with on the weekends and try to apply some of what you've been learning, like the OPT model. There's no doubt it 100% helps. I know because we see it with our students here in person, and I know that there's ways, and I'm happy to help you find ways, so we can jump on a call and talk about it. Find ways to week, a little bit of time where I can be practicing and using some of this stuff, thinking about it when I'm in the gym, because that's obviously what you're gonna be doing when you're done with this anyways. And so we wanna make sure that you're thinking application. It will help you pass the exam because you'll be thinking about real life, but it's also gonna make a lot more sense on how this stuff all looks when you're working with clients. All right, so I spent a little time here, but that's just because your plan from the beginning is really, really important. And so I think you wanna sit down and set the rules, set the expectations, draw that out for yourself. And if you need any help with it, this is the stuff that we do. This is the stuff I love doing. So feel free, you can also click here on the little phone image and set up a time, right? We can just jump on a quick little 10, 15-minute phone call. We do this all the time, and we just wanna add value and see people succeed. So if you have questions about our programs, that's great, but it's not the purpose of the call. I would love to just help you set up a structure, right? Let's talk about how much time do you have every week? How can we help you set up? How many chapters to go through every week? All those things will make a huge difference. And then obviously helping keep you accountable. So feel free, if you guys have questions, anything you want to connect on, hit that link. Let's set up a phone call and make sure you're getting started on the right process. Right, and then outside of that, then the thing is the NASM, they want you to pass the exam, right? Even though they're very tricky with their questions, in the end, it serves NASM and it serves you for you to be NASM Personal Training Certified. So the good thing is we know literally exactly how many questions are going to come from each content area for every exam. Now, your exam, my exam, Jane's exam, David's exam, let's say we got 20 people in a room, you're all gonna have a different exam because it's gonna pull from hundreds and thousands of test questions from these content areas. But we know percentage-wise how much of the exam is gonna be there. So this can hopefully help you also dictate how much time you spend on certain areas. even though I know for your long-term success inside the industry and where you go, right? Chapters 1 and 2 of professional development and responsibility and where you work and sales and marketing, a lot of things wrapped up into this tight little, 1 or 2 chapters. There's a lot of value there, but it's not going to be the biggest portion of your exam because, the industry expects that to be stuff you're going to continue to learn beyond basic certification. Instead, you're going to spend a lot of time on exercise technique and training instruction, right? These chapters 13 through 20, which are really, as you guys, maybe you're there already, maybe you're not, it's going to be a lot of the X's and O's of applying the OPT model with level 1, 2, 3 progressions and being familiar with NASM's examples. So that just means I'm going to spend more time studying that. I'm going to spend more time studying chapters 21 through 23 versus chapters 1 and 2. It's all important and everything might pop up, but as far as just using your time wisely, you want to go back and refer to this as you're getting caught up on concepts, even inside of chapters 5 through 10, which is a majority of the science, right? There are complex concepts in here. As you get into things like understanding the digestive system and even the endocrine system and hormones, they're really cool, interesting concepts, but they're going to be very, very tiny components on the exam. And truthfully, some of them may not even really be in your true scope of practice and your responsibility as a coach and trainer. So just keep that in mind as you get caught up on things. You want to make sure we're spending time on the stuff that matters and the stuff you're going to be using most of. So hopefully this can serve as somewhat of a guide for you. And this is consistent. This is directly from NASM, as we're an NASM partner. So we're constantly, in tune with, and I even retake the exam on, a yearly and bi-yearly basis to know how they're asking things. So I promise you this is the way to go. And then from there, if you want to just best use this study guide, first off, know that as you continue to move through, if you find yellow underlined pieces, they are links, all right? They are links to either additional articles, additional videos, additional resources. So as you're using this as a resource to guide your studies, which I think is great, even as you start out, if you're early on in the process, going through, take a look at this. That way you can make sure you're paying attention to these most important concepts and bullet points in each chapter. And honestly, as we've been working with students over the last 6 years and literally helping hundreds of people get certified, we've just created a lot of resources, videos to try to simplify some of these concepts. So you'll find there's additional links inside of here. So if you find any of those, and the first one you see here, as it says Chapter 1, Modern State of Health and Fitness, and then flashcards. We have hundreds and hundreds of flashcards that you can find inside of these links. So don't go buy any more resources. We're giving it to you for free. And these are all things literally directly out of the textbook, just to help you learn. There's obviously a memorization component to what you're doing, so we want you guys to dominate, and so there's tons in here and we're constantly updating. So you'll find basic definitions in there, but we continue to add in test type questions and just main concepts that you're going to find on your quizzes, you're going to find on the exam, just to make it easier for you to be time efficient with your study process. So if you guys haven't used Quizlet before, it's an awesome resource and it's free access for you. You can access it on a computer or on your phone. So click on those links. And if you're here utilizing this PDF resource like I have it right now inside of a browser instead of Adobe or however you're looking at these PDFs, also kind of a little pro tip, feel free to right click and then open in a new tab. That way you don't lose your place on the study guide, and it'll continue to upload these different links and resources for you. Like you can see, refer to here for understanding scope of practice, video link here, lots of great stuff. Some of them take you to our YouTube channel, and then others take you to different places on our site and even other websites, as there's a lot of great resources on the NASM website itself, their blog, but we wanted to simplify it and make it easy for you to find all those things. So we've literally done this for every single chapter in the entire textbook, all right? So this is a really great resource as you're starting a new chapter to use and pay attention to, because we put a lot of time and energy and thought into it, feedback from students who are taking the exam, and understand what things are on there, and then also things that might be practical. So the other cool thing, last thing I'll mention for you guys, and then obviously it's just diving in and using this bad boy, is feel free as you guys go along. There's a couple of areas as we move further down where you'll find some bonus materials, right? Like here as we're getting past, Chapter 7, Human Movement Science, some bonus videos that are just relative to just great practical coaching. Stuff we talk a lot about inside of our course, which is doing well with clients, right? We want you to pass the exam, but we also want you to succeed in the first year or two of doing it. So there's some great resources in here, and especially even as we get into nutrition, because it's just this whole other amazing area, and we don't want you to get distracted. Like, stay focused on the CPT first, But if you want more insight, information, and approach towards nutrition coaching, we've got some great, cool additional resources. All right, so use and absorb this resource. It is amazing. There's tons of stuff in here. If you're getting ready for your exam, right, in the next week or two, next couple of weeks, this is a great tool. We're giving it to you for free. Use it to help, make sure you're reviewing the right concepts, going through the most important stuff. And then I'll also show you guys at the end, if you guys, just like I said earlier, if you want additional help, right? We created this for a reason, we exist for a reason. Obviously we run courses and classes and we do amazing things with students, but we just want to make sure that more people are getting on the right path. So if you have questions at all, don't hesitate. Earlier on in that little phone image or here with our little button, you can click on this. It's going to take you right to our page to schedule a call with an advisor. And we also have just made it simple and included some additional links and resources for you here at the end, right? Just an easy access to, if you're just looking to get on the flashcards, boom, come into those, checking out the YouTube channel where we've got additional resources for you, and we're constantly uploading overhead squat examples, push-pull assessment, everything. We want you guys to dominate. So if there's anything at all that myself, Coach Joe Drake, or the Axiom Fitness Academy team can do for you, please don't hesitate to reach out. And in the meantime, enjoy this resource, all right? And give us some feedback. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say and what you'd like to see more of, all right? Good luck, and we'll see you soon.